One thing in business is honesty, integrity, hard work, family, never forgetting where we came from.
I hope you hear me. Pain, since I've lost you, I'm lost too. Nigga feeling like he at the bottom like a horseshoe. Sorry for the trouble that I put you in your heart through. God knows that I do anything for a part two. Ought to be praying for the day you come back to me, saying that you forgive me. Give me another chance, I'm needing it like a kidney. I don't wanna advance, give me back her hands, give me back her touch. I don't ask.
Just surviving. Believe me, I know. They always come back. The killer is a part of something in the past. This one just feels different.
You're all in danger.
Mom? Where? Sydney.
I've seen this movie before.
What's going on, YouTube? We back in the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Knobs YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we back with another movie review, and we got Scream 2022. I mean, to be honest, this could have been called Scream 5, because going into this, the first thing I was thinking was, being that they was calling this Scream, I'm like, oh, they gonna make some real big way of making this some type of separation away from the original Scream movies, because this can't be called Scream and not Scream 5. This gotta be something that's gonna make this a way another whole adaptation that's gonna make it different, something just different that ain't making you think as far as the Scream 4. Nah, this is Scream 5. That's pretty much all I'm saying. This is Scream 5. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I get what they was trying to do though, because the way this starts off, you can pretty much say that you are starting off with a whole new cast. You're not starting off with Sydney. You're not starting off with Gail. You're not starting off with Dewey. And I will come in saying that this is going to be spoiler free. I'm not spoiling anything, but as far as plots or whatnot, 25 years after a streak of brutal murders shot the quiet town of Roswell, California, a new killer dons the Ghostface mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. So, going into this new Scream, the first thing I noticed was that it's very, 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 very brutal as far as the attacks. The first thing I noticed in here, not only the kills, but just the killer or killers attacking people, brutal. They not just coming at you like trying to stab you, like this nigga's trying to toss your ass around. They are stepping on you, trying to break your ankles, whatever they can do to make the situation a little bit more harsher, to make it more painful. And that's honestly what this movie seems like that these killers are trying to do. They are trying to make sure, or killer, like I said, because the thing about it is, it's looking like one killer going into this. I'm not telling you that it's killer or killers, but going into this, it looks like it's maybe one. But I'm not going to say which one or which is. The one thing I will say is, whoever this is and how they attacking, Ghostface in this new Scream is way more brutal and way more vicious. That's one thing I will say. Ghostface the attacks was just more brutal to me. And that's the thing about it. And the way I will say, without giving anything away, one thing I will say about the attacks though is that it kind of seemed like some people more than not would kind of survive than you would think they wouldn't in certain situations or attacks. Like I said, I was just looking at certain attacks and I was thinking, okay, that person is definitely dead. But then you will come back and you will be like, whoa, so they good to go. They're alive. Not only are they alive, but they are reacting and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna go with it. Okay. But other than that, man, one thing I can say is this is the best Scream since Scream 2. If I got to order as far as how I'm putting the Screams, it's definitely going to be Scream 2, and Scream 2022. And one thing I do want to say before I continue on is paying homage to Wes Craven, of course. Got to wear the Freddy Krueger. Rest in peace to the great Wes Craven. And the thing I want to say going into this movie is they don't miss a beat as far as if Wes Craven, if you did not know, Wes Craven did pass away. Rest in peace once again to Wes Craven. But if you didn't know that Wes Craven didn't direct this movie, or you didn't know that other people was directing this movie, this is what I say. If you didn't know other people was behind this movie, that you didn't hear about it, you would go into here saying, okay, Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson did this, straight up. And that's one thing I will say about it is that besides kind of a little bit of slow pacing in the middle, which I feel like wasn't really slow pacing, it was more about giving character development because they wanted us to care more about these characters. The thing about it is that it felt like Wes Craven. One thing about it is, though, I will say they kind of give certain characters a little bit more pull, a little bit more for you to attach to. That's what I will say. Like I said, the kills were good, but without spoiling them, seemed like certain people just could survive certain things and that seemed like they shouldn't been able to survive. That's all I'm saying. What I will say as far as the OG characters, man, best character, I just felt like I really enjoyed the OG characters' interests, the way they came onto the screen and the way they came into the movie and the way they returned. And the reasons they returned, especially Sydney, because without spoiling anything, everybody is not in Woodsboro. I'm not going to say who's there, I'm not going to say who's not there, but everybody's not in Woodsboro. But when people do start to return, as far as the OG cast, as far as Sydney, Gail, and Dewey, it is good reasons they do return, and that's one thing I will say. New cast. The characters, honestly, the only thing I cared about was who would be the killer. Other than that, any of them could have died and it was kind of no effect. The attacks, I can say, kind of had an effect because it kind of gave me an anxiety because they kept having certain fake out moments. And it was like, all right, man, goddamn. Because it went on for a minute where a certain scene where it was like, come on, bro. Y'all can get this going. Come on now. All right, we get it. Y'all, we get it. Y'all pointing to the audience, yeah, y'all, we get it. Okay, but can we get something going? The thing I will say about that same scene is that it was a good build up to that scene. It's just after that build up, it's like, okay, what we got coming in. The next thing I will say about that same scene, and you know the scene I'm probably talking about, where it's the fake out scene. I'm not spoiling anything, but I didn't expect what happened to happen in both situations. Like, that was a good one. The thing I'm gonna say about certain kills in this movie is you don't expect certain kills to happen the way they happen. Like, you be thinking certain things going to happen to certain people, and then when certain things do happen to certain people, they happen to one person, and you like, oh shit, so this person probably safe. No, they not. Something happened to that person too, and it's like, whoa, everybody, like, I'm telling you, that's one thing I will say about Scream 2022, and that's why I kind of give it that feeling of Scream 2, because Scream 2 to me kind of gave you that sense that nobody was safe. You had people like Randy, like I said, a main character coming off the original that they took out. And going into this one, like I said, you have certain deaths that happen. And I'm not saying what main characters or new characters, old characters or whatnot, but it's just certain characters you like, okay, I thought that character was good to go, but no, they is gone, they out of here. So it's like, it is good surprises. That's what I will say. Even with the kills, the attacks, and even with certain characters, there are good surprises. As far as the new cast, though, and I will include Judy down here as far as, I forgot the actor's name that played Judy, but you know Judy was the sheriff in Scream 4 that was Dewey's partner, so I include her in the new cast because she was only in the last one. But as far as the new cast, I do enjoy these characters. One thing I will say I enjoy mostly about these characters are their connections. I'm not going to say what their connections are, but their connections to legacy characters are very, very interesting, and it made me want to know more, and it made me want to engage more with the new cast. That's what I will say. But as far as our new leading leading actress or whatnot, that's supposed to be, I guess, our new Sydney. Her name is Sam. And I don't know this actress name, Melissa Barrera. Her name is Sam Carpenter, and she's supposed to be our new Sydney or whatnot. And following her, as far as we're supposed to be doing, as far as following her in this movie, it's like she's just not giving those Neve Campbell vibes. I'm sorry, because even in that first Scream, you were following Neve Campbell and you were listening to the things that happened to her, the story behind her, and it's like, you know, the situation with her mama and everything, and it's like, yo, we following her. We see this shit going on, and she's one of the first attacks in the movie, if I'm not mistaken, in Scream 1996. So following this new, like I said, supposed to be our new Sydney as far as Sam, it's just, you just not getting those same vibes as far as caring as much. And that's even with the newer cast or whatnot. I just, in my opinion, just did not care as much as I felt like I should have, and I wanted to. I wanted to care more about this new cast, even more so much than I cared about our OG cast. But that's the thing about this new Scream movie. The OG cast, man. The OG cast. Dewey, standout. Absolute standout. Dewey is like, man, that's the thing I will say that was the difference between having Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson probably write the movie, is Dewey's performance. He is pretty much the driving force behind this movie, and that was my favorite of the favorites with the movie. And one thing I will say as far as issues with the film is when the OG characters do show up, that's who we care about, not these new characters we supposed to be following and caring about. In my opinion, at the same time, I do enjoy the new characters. Like I said, the connection to the legacy characters as far as from the Scream franchise or whatnot. But as far as OG characters, as soon as they appear on here, like I said, Sidney, Dewey, even Gale, like I said, it's just like, here we go. You get that refreshing feeling. It's just being back to where we supposed to be at as far as having our original cast back. But like I said, man, as far as standouts, it's Dewey. It's absolutely Dewey. And I'm trying to see where I was. Like I said, Dewey, is a scene still in this. He doesn't just bring, like I said, emotion. He's funny. He's funny. And I feel like that's where he's always been, but it's kind of feel like it was almost like they was making fun of his character in previous movies. Like Scream 1, 2, 3, even 4. It's like with 4, you made it seem like he was incapable of doing his job. Like he was stupid some way. And that was in even previous movies. But like I said, he had the whole situation he had with the lip or whatnot going into Scream 2. But with this movie in the new Scream 2022, he has this whole presence with him. And it's the presence he brings not only with the original cast, but the presence he brings with the new cast. And the way he's able to come in with this new cast and I ain't saying he outshines everybody, but it's just the way he feels like that OG character that I don't want to give nothing away. I feel like I'll be saying too much, but I feel like Dewey, as far as OG cast, Dewey is a standout as far as Scream 2022. Not just with OG cast, but even with the original cast, man. One thing I will say about as far as Scream 2022, it has a lot of meta references as far as feeling like that new Matrix movie. You know how the new Matrix was kind of pointing out certain things about itself, kind of talking about itself, kind of picking on itself as far as a movie or whatnot, and even trying to talk to the audience. I feel like Scream kind of has those similarities, and even to me it kind of has that mixed bag of being like on par with the new Halloween as far as bringing in all these original characters or whatnot, and kind of having like this whole connection, and kind of, I ain't even gonna say kind of trying to skip those original movies, because you see how they try to name it Scream and not have the whole Scream 5 or whatnot. And I ain't saying they trying to skip those whole other movies, because come on, they having all these connections or whatnot. But more than anything, the connection is the original Scream. Not really Scream 2, Scream 3, or Scream 4, but having those other characters in here from those other Screams, you kind of got to have those mentions of those other movies. But it does feel like what they was trying to do with Halloween, as far as bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back and erasing all those other movies and kind of doing what they did with Halloween 2018 as far as just mentioning the original Halloween. But as far as the new Scream, like I said, I wish I just could have cared more about the characters or whatnot. That's pretty much all I feel like. As far as the third act, that I feel like the movie is all about, as far as the killer reveals or whatnot. That was good. It was good. My problem, as far as with Scream movies, is that they kind of give you a hint of who one of the, at least if it's two killers, they're going to give you a hint of who one of the killers are. So if it is two killers, then you like, come on, don't make it so obvious that we know who this one killer is. Like I say again, I'm not saying it's one or two killers. My thing is that if it is two killers, y'all giving a hint that this could possibly be this one killer. Think about that first Scream when you had Stu and Billy. You knew Stu was a goddamn killer. I mean, Billy was a killer. I don't care what you say. It was like, Stu, I don't know. Maybe Stu. And with Scream 2, you did not know. With Mickey, it was like, yeah, he probably is, but the reporter, you didn't know. Scream 3, it was like, I don't know about Scream 3. Scream 4, I give them somewhat some credit, a little bit of whatnot, but it was so lackluster because you just didn't care about those characters. To me, that's why I was kind of lackluster at Scream 4 and those reveals or whatnot. Not only that, the cops and everybody was just so incompetent in that movie, man. It was like everybody just didn't know what the hell to do, and that's the thing about Scream movies. It feels like they kind of be picking on the whole cliches of horror movie tropes, like you're supposed to go this way when you should have went that way. Or you know how Sydney was in the first movie talking about a dumb blonde who should have been doing this in the third, when she should have been getting a knife or calling the police or whatnot. But Scream has a habit of having their characters do stupid shit too in those movies that they be picking on. So I'm just saying. One thing and last thing I feel like I need to talk about as far as the Scream movies, and I feel like, why didn't this movie do something different? Whenever you have the killer, as far as Ghostface, getting knocked down in the situation or whatnot, whenever they get him knocked down, you know, he get knocked out or whatnot, why do they not take this nigga's mask off? You can shoot him in the head first or whatnot, but if you're not going to shoot him in the head first, you got him knocked out, take his mask off so you can at least see who it is, then shoot him in the head. I'm not saying what happens in this movie, but I'm just telling you, you have situations where Ghostface gets knocked down, and it's like, take his mask off. You have so much time you can take his mask off. He is knocked out. I don't know why they do that. And think about Scream 2. You remember when Ghostface was knocked out in the car and you had Sydney and her a roommate climbing over him when they had the chance to take his mask off? Even if he gonna wake up, he gonna do what he gonna do. Still take his mask off. You had that whole situation going on. They didn't do it. I'm just saying, man, I feel like they still, that's those hard tropes, cliches. You get smart enough to know, take his mask off so y'all can know what's going on now. You at least got, if you think it's more than one, you at least know who one of them are. Take his mask off and then take him out. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. This new Scream, though, it does have some good reveals. More than other, I mean, like I said, besides who the killer is or whatnot, it has other good reveals in here. I'm not going to say what they are, but certain things happen in here where I was like, wait a minute. I had to rub my eyes. I'm like, are they really doing this? And I'm like, are they really doing this? So, like I said, man, it's certain things, like I said, the connections. Like I said, as far as the connections to new cast, the connections to the older cast members, I really enjoyed that. And I feel like those are certain reveals that was really enjoyable to me. I had to make sure that age range, though, worked. And I was like, okay, maybe. I was going with it, though. I was going with it. But other than that, like I said, it's definitely a more brutal film than all the other ones. It's definitely a more brutal film. The thing about that brutality is that it feels like you can kind of survive that brutality more in this movie than the previous ones. I'm just saying, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you watch it. Other than that, man, I really enjoyed it. I wish I could have enjoyed it more. I was really looking forward to this. I thought they was going to have some, I'm not going to lie, the third act was good. Like I said, I'm a Scream fan. The third act was good. It had some good reveals. My whole thing, I was just waiting for something off the wall, because you've been hearing all these good things about Scream and whatnot before the movie came out. You heard all these reactions and whatnot, so I was going into this like, oh, this gonna have some type of crazy reveal at the end. But honestly, it was like, okay, that was good, but okay, it was kind of, I guess having that much of a high expectation might take you out of it if you think about it. But give it probably a second and third view, and I'll probably enjoy it a lot more. But with that all being said, I still will put it as my third favorite out of the Scream franchise. My favorite to this day, honestly to this day is Scream 2. That's my favorite. But if it was in an order, I will say Scream, being that Scream brought the whole idea of this killer calling, asking you about horror movies or whatnot, doing what he did. As far as shout out to Wes Craven once again, rest in peace to the great Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson for what they was able to do for slashers at that time when slashers were being burnt out. You know, with all the sequels to Halloween, all the sequels to Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. So just bringing that new thing as far as slashers and bringing that new thing and that new idea in as far as having this killer calling and asking about horror movies, I really enjoyed that. So going into a movie that came out in 1996 going all the way into 2022, I really enjoyed this. Like I said, out of all of them, it's definitely the third best one out of the five. But y'all let me know in the comment section, how did y'all feel about this new Scream movie? Did y'all really enjoy it? Do y'all feel like it lived up to the expectations? Do y'all feel like it didn't give you a reveal? Could you guess who the killer was? Let me know in the comment section about that too. Could you guess who the killer or killers were? Let me know in the comment section, man. Like I said, once again, definitely paying respect to Wes Craven, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Other than that, man, that's pretty much all I have for the screen review. I am going to be working on a spoiler screen review that I'm going to do with my daughter, because I had took my kids with me to watch this, and I wanted to do a review with her. So I'm going to do a spoiler one with her so we can talk about all the reveals and everything that happens and all the connections and whatnot. But anyway, y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all have checked out the new Scream. How did y'all feel about it? Did y'all enjoy it? If y'all really Scream fans, did y'all enjoy everything as far as the reveals? Like I said, did it live up to your expectations? Let me know in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to let you know when I upload new videos. This is the road to 400 subs. Shout out to all my subscribers and everybody who's been checking out my videos. I really appreciate it, man. We out.
Not this movie.
You said we were gonna finish this. Go finish it, Sydney.
And see me smile at the actual situation. And because they can sense that I'm not afraid of it, yeah, it's only because of my experience prior to.